Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sai Kiran. Guys, this is day 2 in our Azure DevOps series. So in yesterday's session, we have created manually each and everything. Like we have configured SonarQube, we have configured Maven, and then also we have configured the JFrog. Alright, so in today's session, we are going to cover the pipeline till creating the Docker image, guys. Right, whatever you are watching here, the image it might looks normal for you. I will just show you one example. This is my test environment. All right, just have a look on the issues whatever I got. So many issues I got for each and every line whatever is there in the pom.xml. See, even if I scroll down, like all issues only. So if you're doing the practicals, just remember carefully, if you're doing the practicals, the first thing what you will do is please copy the pom.xml file to your local and then start doing the practicals. I'm going to pin all the code in our GitHub repository so that you can copy paste the pom.xml first and then you can start doing the process. I mean practicals. See, for the first day whatever I've covered, it's super fine, no worries. But for the second day, which is today, the very first thing what you're supposed to do is you have to copy paste the pom.xml from my GitHub repository and then paste it in your local. All right, and then you can start doing the practicals, or else you will face hell lot of issues, I'm saying. All right, so in today's session what we're going to do is, yesterday we did some manual stuff here. Today we are not going to do any kind of manual things. We are going to automate each and everything with the Azure DevOps pipeline proper realistic way. And also once this building part is done, I'm going to upload the artifact to the S3 bucket, artifact to the blob storage, and I'm going to upload the artifact to the remote repository, guys. Even in the Terraform, most of them will be saying that we are going to store our stateful in the backend, but they will also be storing the artifacts. They will also be storing the state files in a different locations like local, because those were sensitive files, right. So in such a way, here we are also going to create, I mean we are also going to store the artifacts in three different locations: S3, Azure, and then JFrog. And once this is done, we are going to create a Docker image, and using Trivy we are going to scan this image for any security vulnerabilities. All right, so let's go and do it, guys, step by step. Please don't copy paste the code directly and paste it and do the practicals. Make sure that you're doing each and everything step by step process, stage by stage. So this is our organization, ProductionADO, and open this. I have already copy pasted the pom.xml file here, so I will pin everything in our GitHub repository. You also do the same, understand? So the very first step what I'll do is I'll just log into my AWS console, and also I'll log into my Azure console, and I will turn on my virtual machine, which is our agent. Yesterday we have configured agent, and then we have installed so many things, right? So let's turn on that virtual machine first, and then also on the EC2 part we are going to turn on the EC2 instance, because in the EC2 instance we have Maven, JFrog, and then SonarQube running in it. So let's open it. This is my agent, which is production Azure DevOps. Select it and click on start. So it's going to take some time, let it come back. Just go back to the AWS. This is my EC2 instance, which is production Azure DevOps. Select instance state and start the instance, guys. So once this has been started, the very most important step what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to select the public IP of the instance and make sure that you are changing the IP at records. Which records? Route53 records. Because we are accessing our SonarQube, and then we are accessing our JFrog with this domain name itself only, right? So if you're not pasting the IP, then it's not going to access it. We have stopped the instance, right? Now we have started the instance, so the IP might gonna change. Select it, select instance, copy the public IP. This is, here it is, jfrog.cloudvishwakarma.in, edit records. Just remove this IP and paste your new IP. Save it. Select the SonarQube also, edit records, remove this, paste it, save it. Just cross check whether if it is, oh, it is different. See, so these small mistakes let's not do. It's 215.254. 215.254. First one is wrong. Paste it. save it, done. This part is done, so we don't need to come back here again, so I will just close this tab. Meanwhile, open Azure DevOps, and this is my organization, which is Production Spring Boot Pet App Clinic. And here, come to the repos, make sure that you're selecting clone and copy the HTTPS, guys, and open one PowerShell or Git Bash or whatever you wanted to open. You can open. I'm using PowerShell here, so I will just clone this app to my local. It will be easy for me to do and do the editings and then version controlling. So I will just enter git clone, just paste it, enter cd production app. Great. I will just enter code dot. Meanwhile, on the other hand, I will also open one separate tab. This is a test code actually. Don't worry, whatever you're watching on the screen, everything I'm going to upload on the GitHub itself. If you do not find, or if you're thinking that something is missing, please do let me know. Then I'm going to upload the rest, whatever you need. So I will open terminal here, and then I will enter code dot. Great. Let it come. Once that part is done, see, we do have our production environment here, production environment code here, and then we do have our test environment code here. So we are going to implement stage by stage, guys. Still here, whatever you are watching, we have covered in the yesterday's session already. This was a very very basic pipeline, and here this is SonarQube stage. We are going to implement this today, and then we are going to implement JFrog, copying to the Azure Blob storage S3, and then using this JUnit, we are going to scan our container, not container, sorry, image. Uh, Using Trivy, we are going to scan our image, and then we are going to prepare a one Docker file where we are going to embed the artifact in it. All right. So let's select the SonarQube stage here. Once the cloning has been done, make sure that your git checkout development branch. Why am I checking out to the development branch? If you watch the code here carefully in the yesterday's session, we kept a condition here, correct? See, include only development, UAT, production, which means if you are doing changes to the development environment, UAT environment, or production environment, then only it's going to trigger the pipeline automatically. If you are doing any changes on master, future, or readme, it's not going to happen because we are excluding it here. All right, so let's copy everything, not this one, sorry. Come back to your test code, just copy all the SonarQube code, come back to the production environment, and then paste it, guys. pom.xml I have already pasted here, so I'm not just explaining anything now, but if there is anything to explain on the pom.xml, definitely I will explain. Open your Azure DevOps pipeline. Let's go step by step. Till here we know already, there is nothing to explain here again. If you scroll down, see the stage here with SonarQube. On what condition we are running this case? Only on the development is true. What was the pool? Linux agent pool, guys. There is an indentation error here, I think. Let's see. No, everything is fine. Stages, under stages, stage is there. Under stage, jobs were there. Under jobs, job was there. Okay, good. No issues. Here also it is same. Nothing to worry. Save it, and name Linux agent pool. Come back and check whether your agent pool is correct or not. Come to the project settings, select agent pools. See, my agent pool name is Linux agent pool, which is perfect. And on demands means, I told you already, there is something called capabilities here. If you select your agent pool and if you select the agents, see, you can see the capabilities here. On demand on demand if my jdk is equals to 17, then only you run, or else you don't run. So what were the job here we are doing? Running SAS with SonarQube. SAS means static analysis security testing. So timeout 10 minutes we are giving here. We need to follow the steps very carefully. SonarQube user token need to be generated and used in the service connection. All right, we have installed some yesterday's session we have installed some extensions, correct, in marketplace. So today we are going to log into the SonarQube, and first we are going to generate one token, and with the help of the token we are going to create one service connection on the Azure DevOps. Why we are doing this step is, see, our like JFrog and then our Maven, our SonarQube was in EC2 instance, correct? So we are working from the Azure DevOps pipelines, and it is tough for Azure DevOps to communicate with the AWS EC2 instances. So for that we are creating some authentication between them. All right, so let's come back here. I'll open one private browser and I will log into the SonarQube and then JFrog. So I will just enter JFrog cloud.sugarma.in. It's gonna open, and I'll also open sonarcube.cloud.sugarma.in colon 9000. It's going to open. Guys, if you are facing any kind of issues with the SonarCube, just let me know. I will give you the workaround. JFrog, select admin. You know the password already. India at the rate 12345. Yesterday we have created the same password. SonarCube login, admin, done. Login. I have already do have the SonarCube token, but I request you to create one token, guys. I will tell you how to create the token. See, this is my token. I just created before coming to the session, but I will guide you how you can create the token. Come to the accounts here and then select my account and then select securities. Here you can give the token name, select the token as user token, guys, not the one which we have created when configuring the SonarCube. That token was not required. You just create a user token, because we are accessing the SonarCube as a user from where, from Azure DevOps pipeline. Got it? So select user token and select no expiration. I selected no expiration. If you wanted to select 90 days or one year, you can select and click on generate. So once that part is done, come back to the administration, select security, go to the global permissions, guys. Just go to the global permissions, select users, and make sure that you're allowing all the execution analysis. If you're not selecting this, when pipeline is gonna running, it's not gonna send the analysis results to the SonarQube. So just make sure that you're following this. Understand? So whatever step was there here, it was cleared, the first step here. And next, what, using the token, we need to create one service connection. All right, just come back here, and where is my Azure DevOps? Here is my Azure DevOps. Scroll down, or else just come back to the ProductionADO. Here, go to the organization settings, scroll down, you're going to see something called service connections. Not here, I'm sorry, just go to your repo. Here it is, project settings. Scroll down, you're going to see something called service connections. Here, create service connections, select sonar server. If you remember, we have already installed this extension in the yesterday's video. Just click on next. What was my SonarCube URL? I'll just come back here and I will paste this, copy, and come back here. Make sure that you're doing the necessary changes, guys. Just remove this is not required. And http colon double slash sonarcube.cloud.vishwakarma.in. And what was my token? Make sure that you're entering the token properly without any spaces, else you will face some issues. Copy this token and then I'll paste the token here. Good. What was the service connection name? My service connection name is sonar test token. Just copy it carefully and then paste it here. Paste it. Sonar man, this is optional, and description also I'll give the same, sonar test token. And I'm going to select this grant access permission to all the pipelines and then save it, guys. Great. Now we did some changes in our Azure DevOps pipeline. Let's come back here and enter git status. See, we do have one change. So now I'm going to enter git add dot git commit hyphen m. I'll add the message as add sonar stage, and then git push origin not master development. You need to push it to the development branch, guys, because we have excluded the master branch here. If you watch the code carefully, see, you have excluded these three branches. We are only including this development UAT and then production environments only. All right, so let's push it. Once after you are pushing, what happened? Git add, see, add, I didn't give it properly. Git add dot git commit hyphen m, enter. Now it's going to push it to the repository. Just go back here and check on your pipeline. Automatically it's going to trigger the pipeline. Open, see, a pipeline has been started here. Let's wait for it to complete. Let's observe what it is doing stage by stage. Once this SonarQube part is done, then we shall move on to the next step. It's running the SonarQube stage now. Scroll down, see, it is building and it's going to download all the necessary packages, whatever you have mentioned in the pom.xml. Running SonarQube Maven analysis. So once this part is done, then it's going to automatically write all the analysis results to our SonarQube, guys. See, if you are watching here in the results, it's in the green color. See, test run 2. Those were all test cases actually. If you come back here, now I believe we are going to get one error. Let it come. I know how to resolve that. If you come back to the test, see, all these were test cases itself only. You know where the error is going to come? In the very first day, if you remember, we did some modifications and then we pushed and we watched the changes. Correct? Where we did the changes, if you select resources, and then templates, and then error.html, see, here something happened, three dots, and in the welcome file, okay, it is same. We have did some modifications here actually. If you are facing any error here, just try to keep these lines as it is, because in the test cases, whatever is there by default, the test case will also be in the same way. If it is mismatching, then the test cases is going to fail and it's going to mention that, like, whatever you have mentioned, it is not there, so I'm failing. So when running the SonarQube stage, also make sure that you are changing these lines accordingly, whatever I'm showing right now. In the first session we have changed these lines actually. All right, so just go back and see what was the result. Okay, see, it got failed. Select it. Let's see what it's showing. It says fail to execute goal, not authorized. Please check the user token in the property sonar.token, or credentials in the properties sonar.login and sonar.password. Okay, what we shall do now is, I do already have my testing environment. I will open and I'll see if I passed any variables, so that it will be easy for us to do the same in the production also. See, even in the real time, if you're working on the development environment or if you're working in the pre-prod or pre-live environment, make sure that you're opening the other environment in the different tab and you can take the reference, guys. There is no harm in it. But don't just copy paste, just take the references. So this is my pipeline, my pet app, and then if I select this code, no, not this one, just come back one step, select edit here, see the libraries. See, I have added one variable here, SonarQube variables. So select this variables and see what were the variables I've added. SonarQube host URL, copy this, come back to your production environment and do the same changes, guys. I'm going to open the pipeline here. I'll just select the error, select edit. You can also see the library tab here, select library, create variable group, and I'll name this variable group as SonarQube and add the variables. This is my SonarQube host URL. What was the host URL I've given? Copy this and paste it here, http://sonarcube. Okay, also change the variable group name as it is, paste it, add it. What was the next one? SonarQube.token. Copy, but make sure that you're changing the token. The token is supposed to be this. Copy this. There were no spaces, right? No. And then paste it. Mark this as secret. Change variable type as secret. You select it and it's going to hide. Alright, once this is done, just make sure that you're selecting save. Meanwhile, so let's check on the test environment first. Azure pipeline. Let's do one thing, guys. Let's do one thing. We are skipping the Maven test here because this is sonar analysis. Maven is not required. I'll do something. I will just copy the code from here. Just copy it and come back here and remove everything. Paste it. Save. Development. It's not prod agent pool. It's Linux agent pool. JDK equals to 7. Terraform. JDK equal to 7. Terraform. Yes. It's not Azure DevOps testing environment. Just go back to your production environment again. This is my production environment, and if I come back to the agents, project settings, agent pools, issues were common, guys. Don't get confused. It's okay. Let it come. prod-ado. This is the one, and Control H, Control V. This is agent pool name and this is the agent name. I will comment this out, and these are the global variables. Is prod dev and then is dev development. We have already discussed that yesterday. Scroll down, SaaS with SonarQube. We have already did the changes for the service connection and then generating the user token. Changed the app name to this. All right. Okay, this looks good. See, I'm skipping the tests here. Let's test this. Enter. It's going to trigger the job again. Just select pipelines. We got an issue again initially itself only. The pipeline is not valid. Could not find a pool name with prod agent pool. I'm sorry. What was the agent name? Our agent name is, it's Linux agent pool. Sorry, not prod agent pool. Here it is. Control H. Replace all. Save it. Push the changes again. come back here and select the pipelines. Okay, it's running now. Let's see how it behaves. Check the agent. Again, it got failed. Oh my god, this is playing with us. We got a new error to use property sonar branch name. Yeah, I know this error. See, for example, I will tell you. If you come to the main code, what were the trigger branches here? Development, UAT, and then production, correct? But we are avoiding the master branch and then other branches. So in such case, what you're supposed to do is you have to change the development branch as a default branch. Come to the repos. So under repos, you can see something called branches here. Select branches and select the development branches default branch. Okay, it's not the master branch as the default branch. New view where it is. Yeah, select as development as default branch. Okay. Now come back here to the pipeline again, or else I will trigger the job from the CLI. I mean from the PowerShell with an empty commit. Hyphen hyphen allow hyphen empty. It's going to push the job again. Now it's going to succeed. I'm 100% sure it's going to succeed. Where it is? Here it is. The job. Check the agent. Yeah, let's wait for it. If you watch here, the SonarQube job is also successful. Fantastic. If you go back to your private servers, I mean private window, here if you refresh, you should be able to see your SonarQube analysis report. Come back to the projects. See here, this is the report. Azure DevOps Spring Boot app development. Okay, it is working as expected for the sonar. So what was the next stage, guys? In next stage, we do have, see here, JFrog. Now I wanted to copy my artifact to the JFrog repository, which is remote repository. All right. So first I'll just copy the code and then come back here. This is production working code, guys. So make sure that you are not passing it to anyone. Whenever you are pasting, just select this. There is an indentation mistake. Press Ctrl plus Alt, give down arrow key and just give one tab, because the indentation should be perfect. See, understays, here also it is understays. Give escape and control save. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to build with Java, and we are going to build this Java code and copying the artifact to the JFrog. The important thing in this stage is we need settings.xml, guys. In the yesterday's session, when configuring this JFrog, we have created one settings.xml. If you remember, in that settings.xml, we have mentioned at to what URL it's going to push the repository. I mean, push the artifact. Yeah, great. correct? But the problem with this settings.xml is it is containing some passwords. See here, it is containing some admin and then it is containing some password. Yesterday I wantedly didn't give the token here just to show you something here. Now in Azure DevOps we do have something called secure files. All right, so just come back to the Azure DevOps, go to the pipeline. Here is my pipeline, and pipeline, select this, click on edit. Left side you can able to see the libraries. Here you will be seeing something called secure files, guys. Select the secure file, select the secure file, browse, and make sure that you're selecting the settings.xml, because I don't want to expose my settings.xml because it contains some sensitive information. Why am I adding the settings.xml here? Because inside the settings.xml I am telling it to where to push that artifact. Now once this is done, if I come back to the artifacts here, it should be pushing the artifact to this remote repository under this release, organizations, frameworks, sample, spring backline. This was yesterday, if you remember, we have generated this. Now a new folder will be created with the name of this development Azure DevOps. This is with this name, see, ADO spring boot app development, and then it's going to copy the artifact into this directory itself. So that's my task, I wanted to achieve that. All right, so what exactly we are doing here, just come back here and make sure that you're copying the JFrog code first. Just copy each and everything, control C, come back to your production code. Did we paste it already? Building Java code with Maven JFrog, yeah, this is the one. On condition, what was the condition here? Only if the development. What was my pool name? Linux agent pool. On demands, only if the Terraform is equals to yes. This is that compatibilities, oh sorry, capabilities. And under jobs, under job there is something called building Java code. Timeout 5 minutes. Script, this is, these are the common commands, guys. ls-al and then present working directory. I am removing this settings.xml from this .m2 directory. .m2 directory is what? Once after the building has been completed, a target directory will be created, that is .m2. So from there I'm removing the settings.xml because we have already uploaded this settings.xml in our secure files. Next, what? Display, list the files in current working directory, and input secure file. The see, secure file we have already attached the settings.xml, so it's going to collect the information from this line itself, I mean this file itself. All right, so select folder agent dot. Here we need to do one small change. Home admin side, this is the target directory, and Maven version, we are setting up the version here. Whenever a new build has been created, a unique build ID will be created here. So along with that I'm going to get my version, for example 2.0.1, 2.0.2, 2.0.3. Again and again, no matter how many builds we are running, the number is going to change. We need some different number. And this maven clean, we already know this, it's going to clean the current directory, because again and again if we do have the jar files, so there will be a lot of jar files and it is consuming so much of space. So I'm just cleaning this um, what should I say, this directory, and running maven build and installing. Here I'm copying this artifact to one location, guys. Watch carefully here, that location is artifact. How I'm copying? From admin side, my agent, when we are configuring the agent, we do got this my agent location. I'm going to log in now and I'll show you. Underscore work 1s, from this directory a unique jar file is going to create. All right, so I'm going to copy that jar file to where? I'm going to copy that jar file to the slash artifacts. So let's come back to your Azure. Select your virtual machine public IP address. So this is my public IP address. I will open putty here, and I will create one file, not file, I will create one directory called artifacts. So the username is admins I at the rate, paste the IP address and simply click on open. Change settings, appearance, change, bold 14, I'll keep 16, colors, modify, yellow I'll give, apply. No need of sudo again here. Mkdir slash artifacts. Oh, before creating this, I guess we need to give some um, user permissions, I believe. Let's do like this. Instead of mkdir, let's give sudo mkdir artifacts. Okay, artifacts artifacts, and also sudo will change the ownership. Admin sci colon admin sci. This is my username. I'm going to give you the permissions to the artifacts directory. Admin admin sci admin sci. Okay, enter. So this user admin side does have the access for this artifacts directory. All right, so let's come back to your PowerShell again. Just run git status, enter. No need of empty push. Just remove this. Git commit -m, add JFrog and Maven, enter. All right, select your pipeline. So once this is done, we shall come back to the JFrog, and if we refresh here, we should be able to see the artifacts. So let's wait for it to complete. Also, let's log into the putty and let's run watch cd slash artifacts watch ls-al. An artifact supposed to be created here, and also let's watch the job. So why it is taking so much of time? Post job checkout. Okay, here now it's going to ask for one permit, guys. Make sure that you're allowing it, because we have added one security file, right? So once after you're giving the permit only, then it's going to run the job. Until and unless you accept the permit, then it's not going to run the job. Let's wait for it to pop up that message. I don't know why it is taking so much of time. Building Java code. It should ask one question whether to permit or not. If we get that, then I can permit and then the job is gonna run. See, it is asking. The pipeline needs permission to access a resource before this run can continue. Just select view and allow permit. I am allowing the permit. Now it's going to run the job. Because it's setting out XML, right? There is some sensitive information inside. Until and unless you give the go, it's not going to run. Building Java. Once this is completed, we will also open one tab here. It's going to show us. See, if you watch carefully here, it is saying route20.jar has been copied here to the artifact location. I will just give Control C, ls -l. Look, guys, route20.jar, and also here everything got passed, right? Okay, the job was successful. The job was successful here. If you go back to the private window and if you refresh once, here the artifact supposed to be stored. So in real time, no one is going to ask you to create the project, guys, because project is going to done by development team, operations team, admin team, DevOps team, testing team, all these together. You're going to do a task, a lot of tasks. See, for example, if you take this task, this might going to go for 2 sprints or 1 sprint. So see here, Azure DevOps Spring Boot Dev, and then the version is 2.0.20. Here, if you go inside, you can find the jar file artifact. Here it is. Got it. Our second stage was also successful. What was the next stage? We do have one stage called copy to Azure Blob storage. Yes, I wanted to store my artifact in the Azure Blob storage also. First, let's add the code. Just come back to the Azure pipeline, scroll down, and let's add the job here. Paste it. This is stage. So select Control Alt and then down arrow. Just give tab. Control save. So what was the job here? Copy files to the Azure Blob storage, task Azure CLI, and this is my subscription name, Sai Kiran SecOps subscription, and this is my storage account name, Sai Kiran SecOps. All right. So first, what we shall do is let's go and create one storage account on the Azure. This is my Azure account. I'll come back to the home. Just enter storage account here, or else you can also select from here. I guess I do already have, see, storage accounts. Sai Kiran Sekovs was already there. So what I'll do is I'll just create one more with a different name, not with the same name. I will take production resource group, Azure DevOps, and storage account name, Sai Kiran Sekovs prod. I will take this. If you're taking the name, then you should also mention the same here, guys. Sai Kiran subscription, and then account name, you have to mention the same here. Sai Kiran prod. Hyphen storage, hyphen account, hyphen key. So we need to give the same value. I will tell you where we need to give the same value. But before that, if you remember in AWS, once after creating the storage account, I mean bucket, we are going to create. Okay, so prod and then come down, select. I will select DevSecOps agent itself only. Let it take. So Saikiran SecOps prod region US East primary service standard is enough. Geo redundancy is not required. Local is enough. And scroll down. Just simply click on review and create, guys. So once this has been created, we need to create a folder, but here that folder we are going to call it as container. Don't get confused. We're just going to create one container. That's all, not more than that. So let's wait for it to complete. It's going to take some time. Okay, this has been created. Go to the storage account and just enter containers here. See containers, select container here. I'm going to create a name called artifacts. All right, and then simply click on create. That's all. So inside this folder called artifacts, our jar file is going to create. So that's why we have created one container here. So once this is done, you also need to create one service principal, guys. So where you need to create, go to the Azure DevOps again. So here is my Azure DevOps, and come back here, ProductionADO, organization settings, scroll down. I'm sorry, not here, production. Go to your projects, project settings, service connections, new service connections, select Azure Resource Manager, select next. Just select, give your credentials and all, sign in. Okay, subscription, pay as you go. I'm going to select my, this is the agent we have created, so select the same agent, DevSecOps agent. Service connection name, come back here. What was the service connection name we have given? We have given Saikiran SecOps subscription. Just copy that service connection name and paste it here. I'll also paste the same here in the description. Make sure that you're not giving any spaces or any additional characters. Okay, good. Grant access and simply click on save. So once this has been done, just come back to the pipelines again. We need to enter the storage key in the variables we are going to enter, not here. Select your pipeline, select edit and select variables, new variables. Here give your storage account key. What was the variable name here? See, here it is, storage account key. Copy this and paste it here. Keep this value as a secret. Come back to the bucket, not bucket, sorry, come back to the storage account. You just created one storage account, right? Select the storage account. This is the one, Saikiran SecOps prod, and just enter access here. ACCSS. This is the one, access keys. See, just show and then copy the key here and go back to your Azure DevOps. Where it is? Here it is, I think. Yeah, here it is, and paste the key here properly. All right, just check whether if it is pasted correctly or not. Okay, it's pasted correctly, and click on OK, guys. Save it. That's all. Come back here, git status, add Azure Blob, enter. It's going to trigger the job again. Pipelines. Okay. I believe this is gonna fail. If it is failing, then what we shall do is we can come back to the pipelines and go to the project settings, and again go to the service connections, select SecOps, this is the one, resource manager, and then instead of we can delete this. We don't have option to edit. So instead of recommended, we are having some self agents, right? So these are not Microsoft agents, so we need to select that managed agents, and then we need to give the following keys accordingly. But we'll see how it works. If it is working, then it is fine. If not, then we can change it. Building the code with Java. Scroll down. So building code with, where is the fourth job? We didn't add the code in the pipeline. Copy artifact to the Azure Blob storage. We have copied here, right? Git status. So once after the approval, it's going to ask, I think, job is being returned as of 3. What? Where is the, we haven't saved or what? Control S, git status. Everything is good. Come to the pipelines. It is still running. Okay, no worries. Yeah, fourth job is also there. Copying the artifacts. Good, good. Initializing the job. Azure upload artifacts. Let's say. Hopefully, we should not get any kind of issues, please. Azure Cloud user bin. Tenant ID. Okay, tenant ID is taking. Subscription ID is taking. Since start detect Docker container. Oh, it worked. Super. Actually, it got failed when I'm testing. Great. If you come back to the Kiran SecOps, this is the bucket, right? I mean, this is the storage account. Just close this. This is the storage account, and I'll just go to the containers. Con. Just go to the containers, and my container name is artifacts. Inside the artifact C, I do got the root21.zar. Artifact is successfully copying it to my blob storage also, guys. Now one more step we need to implement. The other step is we need to copy the same artifact to the S3 bucket. Just copy this S3 bucket and come back here and then paste it. This is not a stage, okay? This is a job. Under the jobs it should come. See, under this it should come. This is job, not a stage. Select. So 1, 2. Yep, here it is. Under the jobs, save it. Now, just go back to your AWS account. It should copy to the S3 bucket, correct? Just open S3 here. Create one bucket, and the bucket name should be bucket name is S3 upload prod artifacts. All right, copy, come back, create a bucket, give the name as it is in the script, in the file, whatever is there. Just scroll down and then create bucket, guys. So once this has been created, it's not done. Just go to the IAM. We need to give access key and secret key. I will show you how to integrate this S3 bucket to the Azure DevOps pipeline. Just go to the users. I will create a user called ADO S3. Provide user credentials. I want to create auto generated. Scroll down, click next, attach policy. Policy, I'm going to give S3 full access. That is more than enough. S3 full access, next, and then create user. So once the user has been created, just go to the user. This is the user. Just go to the security credentials. create access key, others, scroll down and then click on next, create access key. I will copy this access key, come back to your Azure DevOps, and this is your service connections. Create one more new service connection, select AWS, paste the access key here, and then also paste the secret key, guys. Once the experiment, I mean once the practicals have been done, please try to delete this access key and secret key. Session token optional, role resume optional, uh, optional, I don't need anything. Service connection name, what service connection name I'm taking here, Sai Kiran secops S3. All right, I'll take the same name, paste the service connection name here, and then in the description also. I can done. Grant permissions. Click on save. So once this has been created, we did some modifications to the pipeline, right? And git status. Now I'm going to push the S3 changes. Add S3. Enter. Come back here and then open your pipeline. A new job is going to trigger. So once this has been completed, hopefully artifact supposed to be stored under this prod artifacts. So right now it is not there. So guys, once this step was done, the final stage is the main task where we are going to use the artifact, and we are going to build a Docker image, and we will also use Trivy here for scanning purpose. Okay, let it come. Meanwhile, what we shall do is, instead of wasting the time by watching here, we shall create one folder here, guys. We shall create one folder called template, and inside the template we are going to create one file called, I forgot the file name, just hold on. Here it is, junit.tpl. Copy. Inside this template we need this file, and whatever is there here just copy paste. Also along with this I need one Docker file to containerize our entire application. Docker file. So I already do have the Docker file here. I'm not explaining Docker file here, guys, because we already know. uh, we came so far by learning Docker, Kubernetes, everything, and now we are into the DevSecOps. So I'll paste the Docker file here, save it, and also we need one more file. Um, this is the one, Docker YAML. Yeah. Why two files were there? Trivy.yaml and then prod is in. No, this is not the one. I will delete this. Mm, I open this. Okay. Okay. Just delete this. This is not required. This is the one we need. Docker build and Ruby scan success only on development stage. Agent pool name is Linux agent, building container image, Docker build -t. This is my Docker username. You can also change your username accordingly. Don't give mine. And these are the Ruby commands to scan the image. Okay, say unit, it's going to take the lower unit. Okay, I will copy this and then come back here. If you do not know what was this exactly doing, I'm not explaining this is because these were the basic things we have already covered during the time of Kubernetes sessions and also AWS and then DevSecOps initial sessions. So that's the reason why I'm not explaining here. If it's again waste of time, it's going to take more than a hour if we keep explaining all these things. But if you wanted to understand what were these lines individually, I request you to please do just copy paste and use any AI tools and ask it to explain. It will explain better than me, better than a human actually. So Docker file, I wanted to select my Azure DevOps pipeline. Yeah, this is the one, and paste the file here. This is stays right. Select Alt Control and then give tab. That's all. Control S, escape. So once this has been completed successfully, then I'm going to run the job. Looks like everything was succeeded. Okay, configure artifacts to Azure DevOps and AWS. One more stage supposed to be there, correct? Why it is not there? Or is it completed? Just refresh this. Yeah, here also see artifact has been successfully copied to our S3 bucket. We have also successfully copied to our Azure Blob storage. Now we do have one last thing for today. We are going to end up this session, guys. After this, tomorrow we are going to cover the rest of the part. So I will just run git commit -m add docker. Okay, it's going to run the job. Let it run. Meanwhile, what we shall do is, here is my pipeline. A new job should trigger, correct? Refresh. Add trivy. It was failed. Why it was failed? Why? Building. Let's see. What is the issue? Unable to write results. Failed to initialize template. Error reviewing template from path. J no such file or directory. Oh, wow. This is my lab. See, I'm looking on the my lab environment. This is not the one. I have to look here on the production. Refresh this, and if you go to the pipelines, yeah, here it is. It's running. Okay, let it come. Meanwhile, here is our architectural diagram, guys. So first day we did this, and today we have did this till Docker, converting the image to the image as Docker. So tomorrow we are going to work on this part. We are going to push the image to the private Docker repository, and also I'm going to push the image to the Azure Container Registry. And based on the approvals, I'm going to create three servers. One is for staging, another one is for dev, and another one is for production release. Okay, so tomorrow we shall continue the session, guys. Also make sure don't terminate the sessions, please. Just come here and stop the instance, and then just go back to the Azure and then stop the virtual machine. Please don't delete this because we do have so much of work. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow might be the last two sessions for the Azure DevOps. So once that part is done, then we'll move on to the Jenkins. Once Jenkins is done, it's a final goodbye for the DevSecOps. After that, I'll start either GCP or I'll start an interview sessions, not sessions, an interview. uh, I'll keep interview perspective in my mind, and then I'm going to prepare some uh, 20 videos on like real time questions, and not basic questions like what was that and what was this. Scenario based questions. I'll explain the scenario here. I'll do the scenario practical, and then I'm going to answer your question in a practical way, so that it will be also easy for you to answer to the interviewer. If you come here, Java code, it's still running. Let it run. So let's go and check if it is copying multiple times or only one time. It should copy multiple times. Yeah, here also in the S3 bucket, if you refresh, it should copy multiple times. And refresh here the JFrog Artifactory. Library release organization, Spring Framework, sample ADO. See, multiple artifactories have been created. Not artifactory, guys. I'm extremely sorry. It's artifact. Multiple artifacts have been created here. Good, good. And see, another one has been created here. Um, okay, this is the final stage for today. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it should not give any kind of errors. It's already 1 a.m. Create Docker images. See, after creating this, don't think that it's going to push the Docker image directly to our Docker Hub, guys, because we are not giving any push mechanism here. We are just creating an image, and then it's going to, the tree is going to test it if there were any vulnerabilities or not, and then it's going to give the result whether if it is yes or no. That's all. And from tomorrow, in the next stage, we are going to implement way to push this, as is shown in the figure. See, tomorrow we are going to implement this part. Easily this task you can take for 2 or 3 sprints. If you are good at doing things, then one sprint is enough. If I can complete this one sprint, but I'm not going to tell my manager that it's going to complete in one sprint, I will definitely take 3 sprints. Scroll down. Okay, it was successful, guys. Final job was also successful. Fantastic. Initially, we have the errors, but later on, everything was good. 0% tested. Okay, still it is doing the job. Let's wait. Reports. It should be done, I think. Yeah, it's done. It's done. We have successfully completed, guys. So tomorrow we are going to continue this session. As I said before, just see what I'm going to do. Stop it. That's it. Leave it. Don't worry about the bills and all. Nothing you're going to get. You can pay it. No worries. And come back to the, where is my, I cannot select this tab. Okay, I will go to the virtual machines. Select this. Just stop it. Don't worry. Let bill comes. No issues. That's all. Close everything, and we'll see you in the tomorrow session, guys. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.